Hey y'all, it's Chris, and welcome back to Creative Loops. This is my channel where I explore all things yarn, crochet, and sometimes knit. And today's video will be our third and final Advent video. So in our Advent series, we've been opening up our 2024 Woobles Advent Calendar, 2025 Woobles Advent Calendar, and our Fangirl Fibers Mystery Hank Advent Calendar. So we've been opening 4 boxes of the 12-day kind of Advent every week for 3 weeks, and so this will be our last week where we're opening the final 4. We'll be opening up the next 4 days actually, so the days for the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So we're finally caught up a little bit, and if you are following along with your own Advent calendar and don't want to be spoiled, then please save this video to watch after the holidays. So I do have to start off with a little bit of a confession. As I was working up these Woobles, one of the last Woobles that I was working on was this guy. This is the Riker the Caribou. And so I was working on this guy, and if you can see in the picture, you have to make these horns, which generally it's not a problem, but my problem is when working with any stiffer yarn or any yarn that has less give, cotton yarns, linen yarns, anything that doesn't have a lot of give to it or flex to it, then my hands start to hurt really bad. And working with the Woobles yarn is just like that. I have generally pretty tight tension, and so my stitches are tight, and so when I'm trying to go back into those stitches with the hook, I have to put more force than usual than I would if I were crocheting something separate, like a scarf or a shawl that the stitches aren't as tight, and I'm able to either go up a hook size to create a looser stitch, anything like that where I'm able to adjust. It's easier on my hands. But amigurumi, because I want them to be tight, I don't want to see the stuffing peeking through, so that in itself makes me try and be a little more tighter. It really kills my hands. And so when you add on that some of these little pieces that they want us to make are, they have you start with like 4 in a magic circle, it gets really hard to it gets really hard for me to keep it tight and work up the piece. And so we had to work this piece up not diagonally, in rounds, but you do decreases and increases to get this spiral look that it wants you to make. And that, it took my hands out. It took me out. I started working on, I was doing the ears for the caribou. I did the ears, I did the little snout here, I did the snout, which would end up going like right here, and then I started working on the horns, and my hands just couldn't take any more, which is also, I think, my biggest issue with the accessories as well. I was more hard on the accessories than I should have been, and I think it's really because they're all really small pieces. And yeah, let's take a look at what comes in these boxes. Let's go to the 2024 box right now and see what's in there. Because I did not do any of those pieces that you just saw, let's go to the 2025 box and look at what's in the 2025 box, and then I'll continue talking to you about my thoughts on the overall Woobles kit. So now you see that there are quite a bit of accessories. There are 5 small little accessories that come in the 2024 box. Technically 6 if you want to count these as 2 separate accessories, which I kind of would because they're made differently. And you have the mug, you have these skates, and you have these skis. And I started trying to make the skates. So I did start making the skates but I didn't make the blade yet for them. I know part of my frustration with these accessories is that there's so many small pieces, and for me personally, doing these smaller pieces takes longer, it hurts my hands, so it takes a toll on my hands, and I always have to kind of ask myself, if I do this, am I okay with having to sit back and not crochet for another day or two while my hands recover? And a lot of the times, because I love to crochet, I don't see that sacrifice as being worth it when I'm looking at these pieces. So if you don't have a lot of hand pain or joint pain or arthritis in your hands, then these smaller pieces probably won't bother you at all. You'll probably be able to knock them out in no time at all, and you can play with them, or your children could play with them, or someone else can play with them, and you'll probably have a very lovely time. But me, I have to think about what I'm sacrificing when I am making these, because it will cause me to have to set down my hook for some recovery time, and that is hard for me to do. I want to go through what came in all of the boxes. I realized that it is 6 accessories, 6 accessory cards. You could say 7 if you count these as 2, because I was counting this baby cardinal as one of the Woobles. It's actually considered one of the accessories. So each box has 6 accessories and 4 full-size Woobles. And in the first box, the 4 full-size Woobles were the fawn, the cardinal, the snowman, and the squirrel. And the 6 accessories that you can make with that first 2024 box is the baby cardinal, sweaters for the cardinals, hot cocoa, skates, and skis, and a chestnut. Those are the pieces that you'll be able to crochet from the 2024 kit. From the 2025 kit, we have the caribou, the elf, the beaver, and the alpaca. I keep calling it a llama. It's an alpaca. Sorry. And the accessories, as some of you pointed out in the comments, the accessories are more of what you would find in Santa's workshop. And so they're small little traditional toys that you can make, and it will look like part of Santa's workshop. So you have the toy boat, blocks, toy car, yo-yo, spinning top, and candy. I know I initially said I think the pieces felt like an afterthought. I don't feel that way anymore, because seeing them all together now, it makes sense that what we were doing was creating Santa's workshop and the cast of characters that work in Santa's workshop. And each of these boxes opens up into kind of a play set. And so you saw that as I was opening those boxes of the boxes themselves. So the boxes themselves can even turn into like different pieces that can be played with as part of the set. And you have like this whole little area here. I get it with this. You have the little ice here, so you have the skates so that one of the characters can kind of skate along the ice. I could imagine as a child I would have still loved to have played with those. And so then when you open that up, it opens up into the inside of the cabin in the woods kind of theme. And so that's with the 2024 box. With the 2025 box, it is titled The Woobles Toy Workshop. And so that in itself, there you go. You're opening up the toy workshop. And when you first open it up, you see the door here, and then you go into the door and you're in the workshop. And so these pieces, the boxes that are inside, you can turn them into different furniture pieces or other pieces that fit into the toy workshop kind of theme. And so what these boxes open up into is a big play set. you have the Wooble pieces themselves, you have the accessory pieces themselves, and it turns into this big play set that you can play with. It could be a great kind of display piece as well. So if you have like a Christmas display out, you can have the Woobles out on display in have the whole box set up for display. So it is a really cute kit. Something that I have not talked about is the price of the kit. The price is expensive. If you buy it early, you can buy it on sale, but if you don't catch it early, you have to pay full price generally. There are a lot of sales for it though. I don't think I've ever not seen it on sale. I'll try and put a screenshot of the price up in the corner here for you so you can take a look for yourself, but it is pricey. Woobles in general are on the expensive side. They've invested a lot into their marketing. They've invested a lot into their materials, the quality of their materials, as well as just they're a bigger company now with a bigger overhead, and so the cost quickly creeps up. And when you add in the fact that they're paying for certain characters to be licensed, then that also gets put into that price. And so you'll see some Woobles kits for as much as $40 per kit in stores, because it might be a licensed character, or it might be an exclusive to a specific store. It might be a higher price. Some of the Woobles are generally around like $30, which is still on the higher side, considering a lot of stores now, like you can find Michael's, you can even find it at like Hobby Lobby and online in a variety of different places. You can find some local yarn stores create their own little kits now, as well as like sellers who will sell kits on Etsy or Amazon. And so these kits generally will range from like $15 to $20 max, and those kits are much more reasonably priced when you're considering the time to put the materials together, package it, and then send it out. The packaging is nowhere near the quality of the packaging for Woobles, but it gives you everything you need. And so when you compare other options available on the market for these small amigurumi kits, Woobles is way overpriced compared to the other competitors in the market. Now, with that said, the Woobles also puts a lot of time and energy into making the crochet videos and the crochet tutorials, and so there's a lot of costs that goes into how the Woobles operates that makes it a little bit harder for them to reduce the price. But I would love to see the Woobles come out with more budget-friendly options. So if they took their some of their original Woobles designs and dropped the price of those to $20, that would go a long way to creating a more budget-friendly option for folks that are looking to enter into the crochet sphere. Because once you start hitting these like $30-$40 per kit kind of prices, you start to price out some folks who want to learn to crochet, might be able to splurge once a month or once every other month on a kit, and they love the kit, they do the kit in 3 hours, and now they have to wait another 2 months or so before they can actually justify paying that price again. And so it does price out a lot of folks, and in this economy, price is very important. And so while I love the Woobles, I do think they can really work on creating a more budget-friendly price option for people who don't have the means or don't want to pay $30 to $40 per kit. So that's my little spin on that right now. The other things that came in our kits, as you saw, both 2024 and 2025 came with a little snow globe, and all of the little characters are in each of these snow globes. And so it's a really cute little keepsake that you have here, these snow globes. So every amigurumi has their own hook that will have their name on it. All of the hooks are 4mm, so once you have one, you don't really need all of these additional hooks, but every full-size Wooble has their own hook, their own 4mm hook, and then each kit, so each amigurumi has their own hook. So each box comes with 4 hooks for the characters, 1 hook for each character, and then you get a special hook, the hook for the themed set. And so you have a special holiday hook that also comes in the kit. I didn't notice any imperfections on these hooks like I have in some of the hooks that I've gotten in the past. So I think these hooks would have been perfectly fine for someone who doesn't have a 4mm hook to continue to do the wooble with these hooks. I prefer to use my Clover Amore hook. It is much smoother, while I still end up having pain when I'm using that hook. It cuts down a lot on the amount of pain that I experience and how quickly I start to feel that pain. So while these hooks are cute and all, I do have an issue with just the quality of the hook. It could be a better quality hook, and I really wish that the Woobles found a way to not give you so many hooks. I do think 5 hooks in one kit is excessive, especially considering each hook is the same size, so it's not even different sizes. It'd be different if you got different sized hooks in the kit, because this just seems excessive. I don't need this many 4mm hooks. I'm never going to use half of these hooks. If I donate these hooks, because of the Woobles, 4mm hooks seems to be very easy to find now, and it just feels like a lot of waste. I really wish there were a way that you can indicate whether you need a hook or not on the kit itself, so that you just get the one hook, the one holiday themed hook, and you don't need all of these character hooks. I know some people like to collect character hooks, and I'm not going to get into the whole conversation of overconsumption and hoarding and collecting and all of that stuff. I'm not going to do that, because we all have our things that we like to collect. As you see, my records in the corner over there. And if you saw all of my yarn upstairs, I would seem very hypocritical if I started going off talking about how, we're ruining our world and our planet with all of our waste. Even though we really are, we're creating a lot of waste that we don't need, and this is part of it. So I don't like that we're normalizing so much useless stuff, and I really wish there was a way to cut down on the number of hooks that they give you, because this, while again, it's cute to have a hook with the character's name in it, it's not necessary, and you're already giving a really cool holiday themed hook with the set, so all of these extra hooks aren't necessary. This little thing came in one of the kits, which was super fun to play with, and it was a cute break from the crochet pieces, so I really liked this. It was cool, it was cute, it was fun. All of that aside, my take on the Woobles, I do really like the Woobles. I love to make the Woobles. I think they're an amazing concept. They have introduced crochet to literally thousands, if not millions, of people who would have never thought to try and experience crochet if it wasn't for the fact that the Woobles made it so easy to enter into the world of crochet. And so for that, I think the Woobles is amazing and will always have a little special place in my heart, just because of how easy they've made sharing the love of crochet with so many people around the world. So that in itself is amazing. I do wish that they would work on the price, and I wish that they would work on cutting back on materials. I think if they cut back on some of the material costs, they could also cut back on some of the price. So I think they both go together, and it can create a better experience for the users, for our planet, and just everything overall. So there's some areas of work there that I would love to see them take advantage of, but I do really enjoy making them. I think I tried to do too much by doing 2 kits at the same time, and I quickly started having some hand pain that I'm gonna have to take some more rest to kind of address, but it's all good. They're cute. I'm going to continue to make the ones that came in these boxes, so it's not going to go to waste, and Dante will play with them. So there's all of that. Now we are on to our Fangirl Fibers mystery hank advent. So here are the mini hanks that came in my Fangirl Fibers advent so far. There are a lot of really beautiful purples and blues that came with this. There is a more muted kind of green that came with this. These are the first 8 days, and now we're going to open the next 4. So the first one for today is December 21st. This is the 9th bag that we're opening together. Ooh, this is different. Oh, this is really beautiful. It has some yellows in there, some blacks and grays, and a little bit of that light green color in there. This is really beautiful. This is so different. This is very different from the ones that we've gotten so far. I shouldn't say it's very different because it still has some of the same like coloring as like this blue one here, so it still really matches the overall theme. Now the next one is one that we did already open before. It was December 22nd, and if you remember, well, for those of you that haven't seen it, let's open it together. I already know what this one is. This is that very bright pink. It is beautiful. So it's very bright pink. Kind of has some tonal effects to it because it has these darker pinks in there and lighter pinks, but it is very vibrant. Now I haven't seen these last two. So this is the 11th day or the 23rd day. Let's open this. Is that, oh, it's a gray. Okay, so we're getting to some of the neutral colors. So this is, it's a really, really light gray color. The 12th day, December 24th. Let's open this together. What do we have? Oh, okay. It's another kind of speckled one, but it has more of a yellow tint to it overall. So it has some yellows, oranges, some reds in here. So here are all of the mini hanks together. All 12 of them. They look really nice together. Some of them kind of stand out a little more than others. Like this pink here stands out as kind of really, really bright and more vibrant than some of these others. This gray is really muted. These two on the ends kind of really do a good job of bookending with a similar kind of effect to them. So let me know in the comments below what you think I can do with these. I will probably figure something out. This is fingering weight yarn, so something else that I could do is I could double this up with another yarn, and I could keep the base yarn the same. So if maybe I use a gray colored yarn or a white yarn, double up with this, and then go from there. But let me know what you think in the comments below on what I can use these mini hanks for. And with that, that is everything that I have for you today. I hope you keep those creative loops going. Please be kind to yourself. I hope you all have an amazing holiday, whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, any holiday this time of year or not. I hope that you are able to find joy, rest, and relaxation, because this year has been challenging for some, and it's, you know, you deserve it. You deserve the rest. You deserve the relaxation. So enjoy your holidays, and I hope to see you all doing well next week. I will see you one more time before the end of the year. So until then, keep those creative loops going, and bye y'all.